give them credit. Obviously, I know Coach Kennedy and his staff, and give them credit. Give them credit for having just an exceptional second half. I thought defensively we were as good as we've been all year long overall. Defensively in the first half, I thought the ball movement. I think we had 11 assists in the first half and maybe 2 turnovers. Petty got open for some shots there in the first half, and we were driving it, we were moving our bodies. And even when we came up short defensively in the first half, I thought we just continued. We didn't give up. But, we got plagued by foul trouble in the second half. Offensively, we weren't as good. And obviously, just not being able to get the ball in bounds. When we finally get it in bounds, then we weren't as successful as we wanted to be from the line. And, unfortunately for us, Starks got away from us there on that last play of the game and won the game for him.
First question to Alex on the left.
Obviously, you go up 12 early in that second half, and then A&M makes their run. What was going into that final play defensively? I mean, what was that preparation? And I'll ask him.
Well, we were trying to get Dejon matched up with Starks and, on the side wherever he got the ball. But unfortunately, we got a little cross match. We got on the side of him, and we had him pinned right there on the sideline. But he's a strong player, athletic guy, and just made a tough shot. So we'll look at it and see how we can improve when we're in this situation again.
And, going into the locker room, several players was kind of shaking their head, how disappointing is this loss given kind of where you were at, especially in this first half and against an A&M team that's kind of struggled this season?
Yeah, it's disappointing to lose anytime, on the road, at home, whether a team's winning or struggling. The SEC is tough. Just take a look at the league. So that enough said. So you got to be ready to play, whatever a team's record is. They came in here last year and they were on the road and they were ranked. And then they ended up going on a 5-game losing streak, and we went on one later in the year. So the SEC is tough. You got to have short-term memory, see how you can bounce back as soon as you can.
You guys started the second half 3 for 16 from the field. What was going on offensively?
Just struggled, just couldn't get the ball in the basket. We just weren't ready to shoot. I was sharing with a couple of the guys like, hey, let's get ready. Let's be ready to shoot and shot ready and all of the preparation you need before the ball comes, and let's set great screens. And if they're in the zone, we know how we want to attack a zone. And we just, again, came out of the locker room not as focused as we needed to be.
Coach, it seems like you're having some struggles on the inbound pass. Well, what do you tell your team after practice? After, Kentucky game, you had kind of a similar thing where you had trouble inbounding the ball. So what do you kind of tell your team at practice about inbounding the basketball?
Well, the main thing is, when we get to those situations in practice, those small minor details that can become something really large, we have to pay more attention. And that's what I share with the team. And then, when you need great inbounders, but the guys that are receiving the ball, you got to break sometime 2 or 3 times, and it's got to be violent, man. You got to want the ball. So we'll look at it, see how we can get better. Then we finally ran one where we got the ball in pretty clean to Kyra, and we still were just overall unsuccessful in the game. But on that particular play, we were able to get it in. We just need to be able to do it consistently.
Coach, a couple of questions. What did you think happened defensively in the second half? They got a lot of layups and dunks at the rim.
Well, one of the problems, Drew, whenever a team has 48 points in the paint, and they had a stretch there where, for whatever reason, we were just out of position on post defense, especially on Nebo. He got the ball where he wanted to. We didn't have any help side defense when he got the ball. We just weren't alert and aware in those situations, and we wanted to front the post. We didn't even want him to touch it, so we never got in front of him. So we'll look at it, but I think that was a big part of that run was just their post offense and really punching the ball inside.
And you shot the ball well from the free throw line some games, but today was a little bit of a struggle. How do you put your hand on the inconsistency?
Well, I think early on, a couple of guys missed some early on, and a lot of times you look at the last play of the game, but sometimes it's those free throws that lead up all throughout the game. And, maybe a turnover. We had a turnover there late. But, I love our guys. They're down right now. We're all disappointed. What a great crowd we had tonight. But we got to get back to work and see how we can improve.
Do a couple more questions. Start with Tony on the right.
Dante Hall recorded his 200th block today, career block. What did you see from him and just about that milestone as well?
Well, congratulations to Dante. We're excited about that. But part of the reason why he's got to block so many shots, we can't keep anybody in front of us. We got to do a better job of keeping guys in front of us and defending the dribble and penetration. But obviously, Dante is our last line of defense. We're going to need some other guys consistently to get in there. Petty had 2 blocks. Tevin did a nice job of rebounding for us to help Dante on the boards. But we share with them that this is a desperate team coming in here. And even at halftime, they're not going to give up. And it's not impossible to win on the road in the SEC. A lot of teams are showing that. So that means you got to be that much more focused at home.
One more question.
And Coach, you mentioned the SEC, and Ole Miss got a big win against Mississippi State, and then you guys are 3 games in the SEC, big win against Kentucky, a tough loss against LSU on the road, and then now this one. And what do you tell your team about this long stretch of SEC games? And it's going to get tough because, it's kind of in the air for the top team for the SEC.
Yeah, everything's a dogfight. And, all your preparation from this summer, the off season, the way we prepare coming in these games, everybody got nice weight rooms and travel in the first-class manners. At the end of the day, it's just going to have to be maximum effort and concentration, responding to adversity, mental toughness, competitive spirit, making sure that you execute your defensive and offensive assignments, be in the right places, spacing on offense, catch the ball with 2 hands, in what I call special team situation, underneath out of bounds, side out of bounds, press offense, all those situations, we got to be clean in those situations. And whomever's quarterbacking the team, you have to do a good job of making sure you throw an on-time, on-target pass so that we can be successful.